Welcome to another episode of the NiNe podcast. Hello, Otim.
Hello. We're back.
We are back. We're
Season
refreshed.
2.
Season 2, yes. So we have kind of figured out a little process that works for us, and that is we're going to be dissecting the NiNe podcast into seasons. So you've all listened to season 1, and now we're going to start with season 2. Now the reason why we're doing this is we want to release like a series of 5 to 6 episodes, have like a month break, and we use that time to kind of then assess. We work out, what worked, what didn't work, how do we do better, and just a way to improve. So with that being said, how we've improved for season 2 is we've decided that we want to stick to a topic of objective personality, typology. Previously, we discussed all different types of topics. We spoke about mindset, prioritizing, peacocking, kind of related it all back to OP, but we never kind of made OP like the center talking point. And the main reason for this is, Otim and I, we met through this community, and it just made most sense. Like, we're so knowledgeable on the topics, and we know a lot about it, so let's just stick to it. I'm going to hand it over to Otim to explain the focus for season 2. What is our goal?
So we are just focusing on OP and going back to perhaps the earlier days of the NiNe show. We're going to kind of build it up from the fundamentals of OP. And so we decided, since we're breaking it up into seasons, each season will focus on a particular area. So this season 2, we'll be focusing on the letters of objective personality. So that is sensing, intuition, thinking, and feeling. And so each episode we're going to kind of explore it, how it works, how people experience it. And this is also really from our perspective too. So, there might be some bias, some subjectivity there, because we have our own types. So like me and Jono are both intuitive. So maybe with a sensing episode, we'll have an intuitive perspective.
Right.
But the interesting thing is, and the good thing is, me and Jono are like opposite types. So we thought, especially from a value standpoint, we could add a lot of value from doing this OP fundamental exploration, because we cover all the different functions. We have
the whole spectrum.
Exactly.
Bias towards intuition.
So we just thought we'd dive in. Yeah, bias towards intuition. Really, that's literally it. Because we also split in thinking and feeling, but it's just the intuition there. But yeah, other than that, I think it's gonna be good and valuable for you guys and interesting. And
excellent.
That's our reason.
So, what is this week's topic? Episode 1, season 2 is
sensing.
Sensing, our favorite topic. Gotta love the senses.
A quick caveat as well. Me and Jono have a bit of a cough, so you might have to roll with us this episode.
Is it COVID? Is it COVID?
It's I honestly, I think it's because we both knew that we were going to do an episode of sensing, so our body just shut down.
It's
like
no,
just didn't want to do it. Yeah, literally.
Just trying to
could have COVID. Who knows? Yeah, literally.
I've actually I've been coughing for the past 2 weeks, just real randomly, like you right now. And I've tested myself like every few days, and it's definitely not COVID.
Yeah. It's been like a week of coughing, and I was like, it's been too long. Right. And then it got a lot worse today. So then I tested myself, and it was negative.
This is a perfect example. Perfect example, actually. So we're both coughing, we're both sick. Like, do you take it upon yourselves to go, oh, I am moderately sick, I need to go to the doctor, or I need to go and get myself checked, or I need to go get a corona test? Or does someone else do that for you?
Yeah.
Say, hey, you should go to the doctor. Hey, you should get a corona test.
Yeah. That's an interesting one as well, because it crosses over with sleep a little bit. So it depends. I can be a bit of a hypochondriac because of the sleep.
Right. Right.
But then also, like, I can also be a little bit sloppy with stuff. Like, I'll be like, Probably it's like almost extremes of
but
like.
would you say that you normally
sloppy
maybe
and
take too long to get things checked? Like if there's a symptom?
it depends on what it is. I am either really quick or I take a long time. It's like one of the two. If my sleep hasn't worried about it, then I'm like, oh, I'll check that, and it's like it's just months. Like it's one
maybe we need NiNe to answer this question.
Yeah.
No, because it'd be safe for me. Like I would relate. Like I would think, I would get things checked straight away. But Saskia is telling me a lot. It's like you don't go to the doctor enough. You don't do checkups enough. You're not checking the sensory enough.
So interesting. With NiNe, she normally tells me I'm overreacting to stuff. Okay. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a decider difference. Maybe she's, Saskia's the decider, so she's like always feels like she needs to take care of everyone.
Yeah.
With Blast telling
the DE, the DE, like she wants to, she is checking in on
potentially.
And then because NiNe's Savior DI, so when I say something, she's like, DI about it. I don't know.
Maybe. Like, holy shit, dude. She's F5.
Yeah.
What are your feelings, bro?
Yeah, exactly. Masculine F5. So probably that. Nice. I don't know. But right, let's.
Good vibes. Yes.
That was a great tangent, though.
Great tangent.
But let's dive into the fundamentals first of all. You can answer this first, but the first really question we're going to go for is like, what is sensing and what are the functions related to sensing? Great
question. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this from a non-OP perspective. The first one, what is sensing and what are the functions? So what is sensing? Sensing is basically everything related to the senses. So things you can see, smell, touch, hear, taste.
Yeah.
That's all of them, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And literally that's it. Like people, that's sensing. What are the functions? So with sensing, there's two different sensory functions. One is extroverted sensing, and one is introverted sensing. Yeah. To explain them really quick, extroverted sensing is literally, I don't know what SE is. I just see people with SE and I don't know how to explain it, but let me explain SI first. So SI, introverted sensing, from my perspective, is you are kind of navigating the world. You are not as in touch. I would say I'm not as in touch with the senses around me.
Okay.
But more in touch with the sensations that I feel myself. Like, like feeling, smells, like from within. And SI, like, also I feel is really like it's like an archiving function. It's really kind of like capturing moments. Not only like physically, like writing or like taking photos, but just like through, that's how the memory I think is formed. It's very much linear and like chronological. Yes. Your turn.
And there's a few, my brain went across a few tangents. Firstly, you're right about like the basis of sensing is like our actual, we're trying to perceive reality like from the body. And then there's like a mental aspect too. On top of that is we want to know what relates to reality. So not just our body, but we want to know, is this a fact? So it's like there's the body aspect, and then there's like the mental aspect of like knowing what is in reality. So it's like, okay, this is a fact, this isn't a fact. And then with the SI and the SE difference as well, because I think everyone, because I always say this, where you can look at the functions in terms of like SI and SE, but I think everyone will do both, but it's like someone with SI will have like more conscious attention on that aspect of it. And I would say in comparison to what you said about SI, the SE, this is hard as well because it's a demon.
It is, exactly.
I would say it's, and this is the overlap as well, because I think masculine sensory in general is sensitive to the body in general. Like I do have some SI-isms, because I can be very nitpicky about things that Nimi is like I think you're like overthinking it. I'm like, no, this specific thing on my body, like, and she thinks like I'm making it up, but I'm like, no, like I have not felt this specific feeling on my body before. And she's like, of course you have. And I'm like, no, there's degrees to it.
You
it's
remember
like,
this masculine sensory. You remember.
Just the masculine sensory. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's a weird overlap there. But I don't, it's different to you though, because hanging out with you, I did realize you are more in tune than me, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
So there is like levels to it. But I think the SE, what is it doing? I feel like I'm trying to take in stuff in the moment so I can react to it. Like, I'm trying to react to stuff in the moment. Like, that feels like what my SE cares about. Okay. It's like,
and what would stuff like, be? Just
and stuff could be like, if like I'm with a group of people and we went on holiday somewhere to a different country, I'll be like taking note of like random things in the environment just to make sure like nothing goes wrong. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like there's like someone running down the street with a machete. Like, let's be mindful of that. You know, like, okay, so it's like what relates to like what we're doing, like taking action. I don't know. It's weird. It's very it has to be immediately relevant. It's not like archiving. It's not like how will this stand the test of time? Like SI is very like once it's building. It's like that's why you archive stuff. But SE is more
I can give an example. I can kind of give an example of SE and how I see SEs like interacting with the world.
Yeah.
Is that you guys seem really well equipped to just enter like a random situation, like physical situation. Maybe you're just going into a kitchen and you need to cook in someone else's house. And you guys are just really good at scanning what's around and can use what you need.
Oh my god.
Whereas someone like me, like SI, I need to figure out like where does everything belong? Where is everything's place? And then figure out, okay, this is here. It just takes me so much longer to get acquainted with my surroundings before I can then actually start doing stuff.
Yeah. And I like that. That's a good point. I noticed it less with me because it's such a demon, but with Nimi, she's like that. She's very she's very adaptable that way. So yeah, I agree with that.
And just one extra point on SI as well. I feel like people with SI are maybe able. Well, everyone can do everything, but SI is a little bit more attuned to the finer details of things that are in front of them. You know, like looking at a microphone right now, like just really taking a deep dive on the stitching of this steel that's covering it. And like things like that I really pay attention to and really like appreciate the intricacy of.
I have bursts of doing that too, and like Nimi will make fun of me about it too, because also for the viewers, my girlfriend is double feminine SE FI consume play sleep, and sometimes I'm like I just grab an object and I'm just like staring at it like with all the specific sensory stuff. And I get lost in it too, and I think it's just the masculine sensory of just you're just like you just get lost in it. Consume as well. You just get lost in it. But I think SI is tracking it as well. That's the difference.
That's a good point.
I'm like looking at it and then moving on. I think SI kind of keeps track of it as well.
Or just take some data points. It's like keeping some
taking
data points.
Exactly. So that's I think that's where it differs. But so that I think that's a good overview of sensing in general and the functions. And And yeah, I find it so interesting how it's like it's like two things. It's like the bodily sensory, and then your perception of sensory. So like, what's a fact? Like, oh, this is a fact. It's like those two aspects. So, and yeah, do you think? I don't think SI and SE differ in terms of, you know, the like, what's a fact. I think they both appreciate that the same way. But I guess SI is more, I don't know, I haven't noticed the difference in the community or like anything. Like, I feel like that aspect is the same across SI and SE.
Like in terms what of a fact is, you mean? Like,
yeah, like, or like what's a fact, or like checking up facts, keeping track of facts. I haven't. So, you know, like how like OE wants to update, right? But I noticed SI doesn't. It's like as updated with the facts as SE. So it's not like fact that one keeps more up to date with facts or the other. Yeah, the only difference is the only difference is like the things. SE will update with the things more than SI. Like, it wants the new thing. But in terms of like information, they seem to be the same somehow. I don't know. Like, not like, but unless I'm unaware.
What I think is, in relation to that, like, I think SE versus SIs really get like particular about specific words they use. Like, when they're explaining something, like, it has to be the correct word. And sometimes, like, especially for SI blasters, like, it can get hung up on not having the correct words. Yeah. Right? With SE, it's there's a bit of a mix of words.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever works. Whatever works. Yeah. It's like the words, there's an underlying concept, and we're happy to use kind of different words.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have an idea. Let's pick an example of a type we know, that's the complete opposite, like upside down. Yeah. So, you know, for you, ESFP or ESTP, and for me, an ISTJ, ISFJ. And let's maybe like explain what we think they are doing from our perspective. Like, what are those people doing? Like, they're SE at the top, SI at the top. What do these people do all day?
I have a little bit of an advantage here because I live with a lead SE as well. Yes. And this is for SE, because I'm a glass lizard, so I'm kind of doing some SE, but with living with her, I realize like there's a difference when it's a SE. Right? So it's like, I will do SE if I think it's relevant. So like I will gather the sensory when it's like, if I feel like, okay, now there's a purpose, you know, and that's like the NI. So there's a purpose, and I am still kind of gathering generally, but she, or like a lead SE, is just gathering all the time, and I'm like surprised with how much they're able to load their brain with so much information. But the value, so especially from experience,
is it information, like, or is it like physical things as well?
Everything. So physical things, like what they see, what they hear, and it's like a constant stream, and there's no purpose behind it. It's not like they know, oh, this, I need to know this because I'm going to use it. They're just taking in everything all the time, and then when they need it, they can just use that information. So like, let's say like me and Nimi, like, we went somewhere, and then like an hour later we have a problem. She's able to use all the information from what she gathered like just a short while ago. And I'm like, how did you? And she was like, she didn't take it in to use. She didn't know there was going to be a problem, but it's like, because she's just constantly just taking information around her, it's like she can be adaptable. It's like resource. It's almost like a resource. Okay. That's like you're always adaptable. So it's like, the ultimate adaptation.
Constantly gathering the resources to be prepared. For the case.
Yeah, exactly. And it just happens naturally too. So very impressive.
But if you're SE at the top, you're probably doing too much, so you're the one creating the chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. You're prepared for the chaos that you create.
SI. SI. What are SIs doing? So the typical like SI, ISTJs, ISFJs, like ISTJ, you'd say librarian. ISFJ, you'd say nurse.
Yeah.
I mean, SIs. Okay, I'll talk some physical similarities or physical things with SIs. I noticed like with SI people, they have very like their eyes are much more like in towards the center of their face, and they all wear glasses.
Yeah. I think of Marco Plier immediately. He's ISTJ. His eyes are very in, and he wears glasses. No idea who that is. Oh, I'll link him to you. He fits your exact description.
Okay, great. I'll check it out. But yeah, like a lot of SIs I know, they have these like kind of squinty eyes, and they have glasses. I don't know what the correlation is there, why that we have such terrible vision. I mean, I wear glasses. But maybe it's because, you know, we're so kind of like narrowed in on the sensory. It's just our brains are like...
That's really funny. Yeah, maybe, who knows? It's a physical adaptation to just narrow down the sensory.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like what I see as well is it's like they're very... I mean, I find SI blasters just very, very articulate, and maybe that's because I have SI as well, but just the way they can explain something is so clear to me. It's an art. It's something I'm trying
I've experienced that with you, even though you don't, and I remember like I've said this to you so many times that I'm like, you're so clear. It's like,
and ST blast.
You just do it, and it's why does that happen? Could you explain that?
But this is the thing as well. Like with you and me, like I remember when you brought this up last time. It's like my blast is ST and your consume is ST, so you kind of assume that then it's just clearer for you to take in the information. You know?
Yes, a little bit of that too. Yeah.
And same with your blast. Like you have NF blast, I have NF consume.
Yeah.
So when you explain something, it's just. I absorb it. It hits all the right chords and strings.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I'm curious, what is it? Because this is what I find. I find this contradictory. Because what I'd assume is if someone is SI, they would give way too many details about the situation. So many details that it makes it unclear. But I've experienced what you've experienced, that they are actually very good explainers. They don't give you too many details. They tell you, they take you through what you need to know, and it's like a good.
You mean with SI blast?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm curious, maybe it's the fact that it's organized sensory. So
right, okay, yeah.
They're not overloading you.
It's kind of processed a bit as well.
Processed.
It's minimal details. If you need more sensory, you can ask for it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that clears it up.
That clears it up.
Because the SE is where you just get random details and you don't know why it's relevant.
Right.
It's like,
So
that makes sense.
For someone who has Demon SI and someone who has Demon SE, what are ways that we can improve these functions?
Do you want to go first? I went first.
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
So, and I could literally create a whole podcast episode on this.
Yeah.
Because it's such a fascinating topic. It's literally growth. Like this is the key. Yeah. It's literally working out your demon is basically growth. Anyway.
Yeah.
For me, like as an EP, SI last, like routine is absolute must. Like if I want to be productive, I have to have routine. And I've talked about this in previous episodes, but so I live my life with a schedule. I don't have my full day schedule. I have like morning schedule and evening schedule. Morning is for me to have a good day and for me to be productive and get stuff done. I need to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, prepare coffee, prepare breakfast for me and Saskia. And then by 6:30, I'm into my build. Like, what are the things I want to work on to improve? So one of them is I want to work out. I want to build muscle. So I do a workout. And immediately after or before, depending on the day and how I feel,
Yeah.
I will do like a drumming exercise, just a real simple, just on a drumming pad, just, you know, to build the dexterity and the strength and all that kind of stuff. So I'm building, these are two things I'm trying to build, right? So I need to incorporate them into my day and make sure I'm doing them small chunks every day.
Yeah. Consistently. Yeah.
Right. After that, I get ready, I have a shower, and then I go to work, and then I just throw myself at work. If I can do that consistently, then I have a good day. And the evenings are great. I go to bed by 10, sleep 8 hours, and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Wow.
Routine.
I have to say, like, I really respect you a lot because
Thank you.
You've always been good at this, of like getting on top of your SI. And it's almost like weirdly too natural. Like
the thing is,
like,
once
like
your
a
SI
natural
punched you in the
alpha.
face, once
You know
your
what I
demon
mean?
SI has punched you in the face so many times, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
I need to control this.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Yeah. I guess, yeah, and I guess I experienced post SI trauma, Jono. Because I guess because I've known you when you're like doing the SI, but I guess maybe when you were younger, it was you.
Yeah, I mean, like, I never got into massive problems, but I mean, well,
yeah,
it depends who you ask. But you know, I've had my share of like of things. This is actually a good we should even make this an episode. Let's talk about how our demons have killed us in the past. This is good. Let's do that. But to summarize, look, I've gotten in debt. You know, I was in a marriage. I got divorced. I moved out of home early, and I had to just like figure out how to survive. Started working early, and just had to figure all these things out.
Yeah. Interesting. The weird thing for me, how demons to fuck me up, or how to do SE as a demon SE? Which one?
Yeah, your SE.
Okay.
How do you do your demon SE? How do you improve it?
So I think for me, and I don't think I'm as good as you at like managing the demons. SE's a little bit. I guess that's a good point. Everyone, not good to compare yourself. But I think SE is a little tricky one because it's since it's extroverted, it's not something you like keep track of. It's something you just have to keep throwing yourself into. So there's a mindset component, and one thing I'd say is there's an idea called minimalist. What is it called? Luxury minimalist or something like that. And it's the idea that, you know, not everyone's rich, but it's the idea that you don't have to buy everything and get the best version of everything. Right. But you can have something, like fewer things, but get the most updated, best version of it. So like, and it's just having an idea of like, the things I have, I just want to be just have the best version. So it's like having a mindset of like, I want everything to be fresh that I have. And this can cause chaos, but it's like chaos you should welcome. So for example, like me and you use Todoist, but for Todoist, like I sign up to like the beta testing so that I always get the most updated version of Todoist before it's being tested. So it's just a mindset thing of like, let me just, the things I do have, I just want to be on the freshest version. Yeah, keep updating them to whether that causes chaos, that's fine. You'll get returns of, I'll have the best resource, you know? So like, I appreciate my monitor. Like I tried to get more expensive monitor.
I remember you told me
it's more money, but it's like, I get value out of it. Yeah,
and your eyes are less strained, right? Because the quality is so
less strained. Exactly. And it's just having that mindset is what I'd say, because that's not something you can track, but it's just something, just have that, okay, like how do I just get the best version of what your clothes, just like everyone has their own style. You don't have to have the same style as this fashion design. Like have your style, but have the best version.
Everyone should have their own unique style.
And just and what else? There's the mindset thing, and I think this is like the easiest is to see it with sports, where just try tangential things. So like growing up, like I always did football. That was like my sport. That's just what I did. But then when I went to uni, I thought like I'll try other things. So it's like if you like sports and you have a particular sport you like doing, try like a tangential sports. Like I did volleyball. I'm trying to get into martial arts. I haven't yet. So it's like expand the things you do. So like if you like art, so if you're a drawer, try painting, try pottery, so like try the spectrum of sensory of the things you like doing anyways.
That's really interesting.
And with productivity apps, like I'm a freak with that stuff, because like I will just keep trying different apps and different things, because like I know I like productivity.
Dude, I've got a new system. Dude,
yeah, and it's like, and that's the thing. It's like don't force yourself to do it with things you don't care about. Do it within the domain that like you're like, okay, like this is my NI box. Can I expand the sensory?
Right.
No one can see the screen that I can see right now, but that was hilarious. You know
what would be
your mug and you yawned just before drinking it. It was like, but yeah. Anyways, what were we saying?
I was gonna say an ultimate test, like a good way to like throw some chaos into your productivity system is to like don't just look at different systems, but change the sensory completely and just go to pen and paper.
I did this.
No way.
I did this at work, because I was like, I keep using digital apps, but is there any benefit to me doing pen and paper? And if there is, it is better.
I've started as well.
But
I've got remarkable.
Hey, oh yeah, you told me about that. How are you finding it?
Love it. It's just like pen and paper, but you can just have multiple in one.
Interesting, because this is just us exploring the sensory here a bit, because I had the Rocket Book, but I don't use it anymore.
That's the one that like
I didn't like
draw.
Yeah.
And they take a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that as well, dude. I hated it.
I didn't like it. The feel of it. It wasn't. The pen was shit. Like everything. So I was curious, is this a better experience?
So the only reason why I have one of these is because I got it through work. Otherwise, they're ridiculously expensive. Like,
okay.
It's like, okay, just for the unit, it's like 500 euros, and then you got to pay another 150 euros for the pen. And if you want the real benefits, like to actually get the full benefits, you got to subscribe to their system, which gives you the cloud storage. And lets you do like send your notes to like PDF. I'm like, dude, you guys are just like
They've got a little funnel there.
Yeah,
like
I wouldn't pay for this. Like it is really good. I love it, but it's just way too expensive. I think I could easily cope with pen and paper though. Like if I didn't have this pen and paper,
if you had to,
exactly. The main benefit is just like someone blew my mind the other day, and I realized, and they told me that. Like you remember more when you're physically like writing.
100%. Yeah. You process it better.
You process it better.
100%. You physically. I can feel it sit in my brain.
You can feel like the words like imprinting on your brain cells. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why when I'm journaling, so more emotional stuff, I prefer to do it pen and paper, because what they say is, because typing is so quick, it's like. When I'm writing, it lets me really sit in what I'm feeling. Like as I write, okay, this happened and I was unhappy or whatever. The time it takes to write is what makes it sink deeper, because it's like you're taking that time to flesh it out.
Exactly.
So
it's great, man. I know like people think that it's less productive because you can type faster. Yes, you can take faster notes, but you can't process that.
You can't process exactly. When it comes to processing, 100%. Yeah.
If you want to process, you have to read over it again and think about it. With writing, I don't even read over my notes again. I just I process
it. Just
it there.
Yeah.
It's in my head.
Yeah. And the third thing I'd say as well for people, if you're overwhelmed and stressed, writing pen and paper is good, because it slows down your mind, because typing is so quick. It's like it's feeding that erratic brain. So when you write, it naturally helps you think about the problem, and it slows down your mind too.
Yeah.
So problem solving by writing is also
exactly.
Really good.
And when you're typing, you're kind of you're saving the information, but you're not saving it to your brain. You're outsourcing it to somewhere else.
Outsourcing, yeah, exactly.
Which has its benefits, but
it's time and place. Exactly, there's a time and place. But it's knowing when to use it and when not to. Yeah. Well, dude,
the Zoom timer is telling me we have 4 minutes and 16 seconds left. I'm pretty upset with Zoom for really throwing this limitation on us, because before you could do 2 people in a Zoom call, record it for as long as you wanted, but now no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the OI control is always there.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Control me.
But yeah, I feel like it's just a way of getting you to buy whatever membership it is. It's like
exactly.
Yeah.
We'll we need to go more than 40 minutes.
Yeah. And that depends. This is my FE class coming out, and that depends on you guys. We need you guys to support us. Like and subscribe.
We need to
let us know we're valued.
We should set up a Patreon.
Set up a Patreon. If we could do this full time,
buy us a coffee on Patreon.
Exactly, get us a coffee and we can do these over an hour.
Yes, we haven't done the sensory on the Patreon yet, so please give us money on our future Patreon that we're going to set up in the future. And
we'll be in the future.
Yeah,
just get the money ready.
Thank you, appreciate you guys listening. This was episode 1 of season 2. We covered sensory. Give us a feedback. We've had a lot of actual DMs, people sliding into the DMs telling us how awesome we are. How good we are. Some people said, actually we have no negative feedback yet. So looking for more of that. Looking for more of that.
We're basically perfect.
Right.
We're
dominating everything.
This is we're being so DI right now, but but genuinely we've enjoyed that positive feedback, and it's what has kept us going, because part of what made us stop was to review if we want to keep going, and just because people have been kind of positive about it, we're like, we'll keep going. So we appreciate all your comments.
Appreciate it. Love the love. Thank you guys.
If you need to kick our butts, also do that too. So love you guys.
Take
it easy.
Thank you. Take it easy.
Peace out.
Peace.